Windsor Blake Griffin worth the price for Pistons and mdash, at least for one night. The fans were on their feet in the end. And while there won't be a parade for beating the Memphis Grizzlies, the mood was noticeably different Thursday night at Little Caesars Arena. Even if it took the crowd a while to get going. That was understandable. After all, it's been years since legitimate star has suited up for the Detroit Pistons, which helped explain so many first-timers in the crowd. Players like Blake Griffin don't willingly come to Detroit. But now that he's here, well, he's willing to embrace his new home. That's the impression he left during his introductory news conference Wednesday. And that's certainly the impression he left Thursday night, dropping 24 points, grabbing 10 rebounds and handing out 5 assists in the Pistons' 104-102 win. "We've got some guys that can really play," he said, and playing with Andre was a blast. The energy from the fans was awesome. As debuts go, Griffin's was more than solid. And while solid isn't what Stan Van Gundy hopes to get every day, he had to be pleased with the immediate chemistry on display, and he was. "But I didn't really have a good framework for Blake to work out of," he said. "I think we can help him." That's to be expected, especially considering Griffin had all of 75 minutes during Thursday morning's shoot-around to go over 4 plays. Turns out they were just enough to beat the Grizzlies, anyway. To send a jolt through the crowd, too. Watch Blake Griffin highlights from his Pistons debut when it did. The scene felt a bit like the old days at the Palace, when fans routinely had reason to stand. The anticipation had been bubbling all over town Thursday. You could hear talk of Griffin's debut, of wanting to make the effort to get down to LCA, of finally having something to watch. It's hard to know how many first-timers were at Little Caesars. But it's a safe bet it won't be the last night newcomers show up. Griffin has that sort of presence, and it was visible from the opening tip. His first bucket came a couple minutes into the game, when he took a pass in the corner, pump-faked, drove the baseline, spun, backed down, and muscled in a bank shot. From there he slowly unveiled an assortment of offensive moves. Whether wrapping the ball behind his back and lobbing to Andre Drummond in transition, or standing strong at the elbow and clearing space for Stanley Johnson. Johnson had his second promising game in a row, and seemed to thrive off Griffin's arrival. At one point, the young forward hit a 3 with an assist from Griffin and the two hollered at each other as they ran back down the court. Griffin sensed his new teammates' confidence rising, and he wanted to give it a rocket boost. It was just a few words to someone he hardly knew, but words from players like Griffin carry weight. The NBA is a stars league, and stars come with their own gravity. "We all had a little pep in our step," said backup power forward Anthony Tolliver, whose late three-pointer was the difference in the game. "Griffin's arrival," he acknowledged, "puts our ceiling at a different level." Now, is the 5-time All-Star the transcendent physical talent he once was? Of course not. He's had too many injuries. Still, when healthy, he is effective, in a different way. Griffin attacked all night against Memphis in search of plays for himself, yes, but also for his team. This kind of balance is where he has evolved the most the last few seasons, and that evolution has helped counter whatever athleticism he has lost. Blending his varied skills will take time, and you could see the possibilities frequently Thursday. Like when Griffin tried to slip a bounce pass to point guard Ish Smith in the third quarter. The pass hit a defender's foot, and Griffin let loose an expletive. He'd spotted a crease, but couldn't take advantage. Time will help with the timing. Because Griffin sees things, and, at 6'10" and 250 pounds, that vision, along with ball handling and understanding of pace, tantalizes his coach. These mature skills are what Van Gundy craved. Not just the spins and wraparounds and high-flying rim runs. Those things are nice and fun. But to win for this team to be a real threat in the playoffs in the future, it will need a melding of Griffin's star power with this still intriguing collection of young talent. "I got the ball a ton tonight, so I'm not worried about that," he said. "We just have to be more efficient. And we need to get healthy. We miss Reggie Jackson in a big way." "He's so talented," he said of the Pistons' injured point guard. "I'm very excited about the future. That future looks a lot different than it did 5 days ago." Yes, this franchise will spend heavily paying Griffin's salary over the next few years. But on Thursday, there was a buzz at Little Caesars Arena that hasn't been there all season. It's hard to put a dollar amount on that. Contact Sean Windsor, 313-222-6487 or swindsor@freepress.com. Follow him on Twitter @SeanWindsor. Download our Pistons Extra app on iTunes or Android.